George Lambert's flamboyant personality and personal magnetism accorded him the status of Australia's first celebrity artist. Lambert came from a very cosmopolitan background. He was born in 1873 in St. Petersburg, Russia. His father was American, his mother was English, and the young Lambert grew up in Germany and in England, only coming to Australia at the age of 14. As a young man, Lambert worked as a jackaroo on the family property in far western New South Wales. But in 1879, he enrolled as a student at the Julian Ashton Art School in Sydney. He was an outstanding student, and soon his great ability as a draftsman became apparent, and probably Lambert today is remembered as one of the greatest of all Australian draftsmen. At the age of 26, Lambert had a great breakthrough when in 1894 his painting, Across the Black Soil Plains, was awarded the Wynne Prize and subsequently purchased by the Art Gallery of New South Wales. The following year, he was awarded the New South Wales Travelling Scholarship, enabling him to go overseas to study. Lambert arrived in Paris in 1901 and spent several years there, living a typical bohemian artist's life, very poor. He later moved to London, but by 1910 was starting to get some good notices and reviews. He soon established himself as a society portraitist, and his large-scale tableaus were always well reviewed. In fact, Lambert became one of the most successful of all Australian expatriate artists in England. In 1922, he was even made an Associate of the Royal Academy, the very first Australian painter to have this honour. In 1918, he was appointed an official war artist and travelled both to Palestine and later to Gallipoli to record and depict what the Australian soldiers had been doing there. In fact, he was also commissioned to complete several large-scale historical paintings, and this in fact brought him back to Australia in 1920. Lambert was certainly fated upon his arrival back in Australia, but arriving in the very conservative art world of Sydney at the time, he shocked people by in fact coming out in favour of modernism, stating that at least the man who invented Cubism had an idea. And also in 1926, he was a co-founder of the Contemporary Art Group in Sydney. Lambert was only 56 years old when he died in 1930. He was survived by his two sons. One, Maurice, became a well-known modernist sculptor in Britain. The other, Constant, was a musician and a composer. His grandson, Kit, later went on to become the manager for The Who. In the years since his death, Lambert's reputation has waxed and waned, yet his iconic work, The Light Horseman, has always remained one of Australia's best-known and best-loved paintings.